We're going to bring in our Charles Benson now and talk a little bit more about this. Charles, let's first continue to address why the Trump campaign is not seeking a statewide recount, but simply focusing on Milwaukee and Dane counties. We did hear from the Trump campaign, but anything more that you're drawing from that?
Well, clearly here, Milwaukee and Dane counties are the two biggest counties in the state, but they are also the two biggest strongholds for the Democrats. When you look at the vote totals coming out of both of these counties, Joe Biden gets a lead of 360,000 votes just with those two counties. So when they're going to do this deeper dive into what happened in these two counties, they want to specifically look at the large number of absentee ballots that both of these counties produce. And they think there are, quote, irregularities in these absentee ballots. In fact, they think some of the guidance that came out from the state to these counties on how to handle the absentee ballots needs to have this deeper dive. By the way, that guidance that came out from state election officials was also the same guidance, though, that all 72 counties received as well, Vince.
Well, and regardless, Charles, let me ask you this. We're talking about a recount, not necessarily addressing all of the grievances that the Trump campaign has expressed. Does simply recounting the ballots or this process get them any closer to proving any of that?
So I would say don't get hung up on the word recount here, because yes, they're going to look at the math here, but we have seen in the past that the math doesn't really change. What we're hearing specifically is the story around those absentee ballots, the quote unquote irregularities. And they believe that this is the place. Given the large volume of votes here, the two biggest buckets that they could dip into would be Milwaukee and Dane counties. Jim Troupis is the lead campaign lawyer for the Trump campaign. Here's what he told us just a few minutes ago.
We expect that the issues that we will raise will, in fact, be well above that. The number of mistakes and the number of ballots and envelopes to those ballots that were incorrect are more than sufficient to overcome the margin of error, the margin here in this election.
So, Vince, that is the battle line here. Yes, the margin of victory was 20,000 overall statewide for President-elect Joe Biden, but it is in those two counties that they hope to make up that margin. Vince?
And so just to be clear, Charles, you're saying this is a vehicle for them to begin to pursue some of those questions they have, not merely just counting the votes again.
That's it. Right. You know, it is called a recount, but it is these other issues that they want to look at. And keep in mind, this process is going to be labor intense. They are going to go ballot, look at these ballots, look at the envelopes of these ballots. And that's why you're going to see hundreds of people involved in this recount, because they want to put eyeballs on all of this information, not just counting the ballots.
All right, Charles Benson reporting for us. Charles, thank you.